Hey guys, this is John at JD Customs. Just want to make a quick video for you guys to show you how to remove the headliner in your GTR. I haven't seen any videos on YouTube so far, so maybe this will be the first one. Hopefully I don't have too hard of a time getting off the headliner because I plan on wrapping it in suede. I hate the tan headliner, so we're going to make it a lot better. Thanks for watching, stay tuned. Alright, so first you're going to start off with your plastic topper tool and you're going to take off the little cover on the sun visor right here. That comes off and there will be 2 Phillips screws underneath. I'm just going to take those out. Okay, when those come out, just unclip it from there, and this looks like we've got a connector in here. Pull that part down and let it loose there and just set these aside. Okay, so this part I found out that you're going to need either a flathead screwdriver or something small like this. There is actually a little slot in the back. You're going to slide that in there, push in a tab, and you turn it, and it comes down, comes out. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. It just unscrews underneath that panel there, and then also pops in the back part of there, and this twists and comes out. This whole center part here, you kind of just have to get in behind it and easily pry front and back, just back and forth, and it's going to come down as one piece. You see it like this. There are 2 connectors that come down with this, and you're going to push in this little tab right here, and then they're going to come out. It's a little bit hard to push out, but there we go. Get the first one out, push in second one, and it comes out. Okay, so that's completely loose and you can just set that aside. So on these, I'm just going to use my fingers because they are wrapped in leather and I don't want to break anything. So just get your fingers down on the top, and there's a point right here, it just pops out. I'm pretty sure that I can take the headliner down without taking these completely out because there's another little blue tab over here that's holding it in, and it's kind of annoying to try and get out. So on these, we're just going to pull it down like this, and I think the headliner should come down enough to get that out there. Okay, so when you've got these down, I'm going to reach up in here, and there are different points that pop down. I think they're going to start about right here. You'll feel them right there. Just pull those down right there, and then that should free up most of the front part. So next we're going to move to the back and start taking down some panels back there. Starting in the back, we're going to pull down the little hanger thing right here, and there is going to be 1 screw in the back of that. I mean, you can't see it really good right now, but it's 1 Phillips screw on that side, and there's going to be 1 on the other side too. Okay, for the seat belt, you're just going to have to pull on the sides of it. There's 2 little clips on each side, and that'll come off and break. But that's okay, it snaps back into place. Underneath it, there's a 14mm bolt that is very tight. When I break it loose, just take this part off. So we're going to take the seal off around the door for this top panel so we can get this piece out. Just pry in there with your hands and it will come out like this. Just pull it out. Don't have to completely remove this, but just get it down enough so it's out of the way for this piece here. Alright, so then you're just going to go through the top here, and there's more pieces that pop down there, and then just follow along down the back of the window, and a few more pieces that pop down. Okay. There we go. Let's see if we can get this piece to come out without taking this bottom piece completely out. Looks like it's connected down to the bottom. Actually, that might be good there. Yeah, I can access the headliner there. I'm not going to take these pieces completely out. So I'm just going to do this on both sides, and then we'll. Okay, so once you've got both of these pieces down, you're going to grab along the bottom side of the headliner, and don't bend it too hard because you can put a crease in it. Just go along the back here, find the little pop points, and then that comes down like that. Look up in here. You're going to see, if I can get it to focus, there are Velcroed points up in there. So that one already came down. Let's see if I can get this one. See right there? Just kind of reach your hand in there a little bit to get closer to it and pull it down. And it should come down. That one actually came off of the ceiling itself, so I'll reattach that one when I get it down. Now that you've got it down from the back, we're just going to release it, get it around this little spot here. Not to bend it too much if you can help it. Do that on the other side too. Make sure you disconnect the back of the mirror here. There's a little clip, just pinch it on that and pull that out because it is attached to the headliner. And just let that hang down. Cut the tape that's holding down this harness to the headliner to take it out. And this is the harness that is for the vanity mirrors, I guess, and lights in those. And it goes all the way over. So just take that out. We'll retape that as we put it back in, or just kind of line it back up in there. Now that this entire harness is disconnected, we're kind of just going to let it hang down in the car. And then the headliner's free. So let's see how we get this thing out. Get this down and free. Just kind of pull it down, turn it sideways, and then try to get it out at the best angle possible so you don't have to bend it as much. It's going to have to bend just a little bit to come out, but we're going to put a new liner on there. So yeah, kind of cringe a little bit doing that, but it's got to be able to come out. Just kind of wiggle it out. I didn't crease it too much or anything, so it all looks good. So now we're going to move on to the next step. These screws are a very small Phillips screwdriver. They're not even in there very tight, so just take those two out. This piece just come off. There we go. Grab on the bottom of this tan piece here, and we're going to start prying around these little tabs that are around the sides here, and it should pop itself up once you go around these pieces. I think that piece. Once you get most of them out, they'll start coming up around it. Get your fingers under it. There we go. There we go. Kind of pull them out like that. All right, there we go. So if you've got the headliner out now, then if all you're doing is taking out the headliner, then you're done. You can stop watching the video now, but I'm going to go ahead and go and rewrap the headliner. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start peeling off the factory headliner. You can see I've already started peeling some of it off here. You want to take this off because you don't want to double over top of your factory headliner, because it'll be, you know, too thick and might not have as good of a bond as it will to the actual, I think this is fiberglass. So you're going to just peel it off. This might take a little while, but you just grab it from the edges and start pulling. Whenever you get off the headliner, it's going to come off in one big piece like that, hopefully. And you're going to see some of this brown fabric part stayed on there, it's foam. You're going to want to make sure that you pull all of this off, because you don't want to have an uneven surface whenever you go to put your new headliner on. Found out that if you have a sanding block, that it works best to take off this extra fuzz that's left on it whenever you pull off the headliner. You want to make sure that you get off most of the fuzz that's left on there, because you don't want it to be lumpy underneath there. This extra fuzz would definitely do that, especially over here in some of these places where you can feel it smooth here and then just lumpy there because the extra fuzz is there. I don't know why this stuff is on there, but I found out that a sanding block works best. Just take it off really quick. You can see it comes off on here, and it comes off in chunks. Just get it down as smooth as you can, kind of like this area right here that I've already went over. You want to get it down to as bare surface as you can, so your new fabric has a really good surface to bond to, so you don't have any sagging or hanging issues later on. What I did was lay the fabric down that you're going to use for your headliner, and just use your actual headliner to cut. Make sure you have enough on the sides so you can wrap it up. You can always trim the extra later. And you can see that I took off just about all of the extra fuzz and material and stuff that was left on it, to make sure you get down to just hardest bare part of the shell. For the adhesive that I'm going to use, I like to use the 3M 90, super high strength. What you want to do is just spray it on like you're painting. You don't want to cake it on too much, but you want it to get on there pretty good. And you're supposed to wait between 1 and 2 minutes for it to get tacky. What it says to do is like put your knuckle on the back side of it, and if it doesn't come off on your hand, then it's good. So wait for it to get tacky before you start laying it down. We're going to start with the center part here first, and we're going to go from the center to the outsides. Once you lay it down on the center part, you're going to probably use your hands. You could probably use like a little squeegee or something, but I like to do my hands because you feel it. Start from the center and then go outwards, so you don't have any wrinkles or any creases or anything, and just do that all the way up the center part of it. Make sure it's making a good flat bond there. What I normally do whenever I'm spraying the adhesive on is I will spray on one side. So you don't want to over soak it too much and have it soak through the fabric. And then I'll also spray on the actual fabric itself just a little bit, so they both get tacky, and then they'll both make a good bond to each other. On areas like where there's a big crease like this, and this is where the sun visor is going to go, you want to make sure that you push enough fabric in so that it doesn't try and pull itself back up once it's stuck on there again. So make sure you push it in so there's enough fabric to stay in the crease. And then I just like to go through and just a few times while it's drying to make sure that it's going to stay in its place, because if it's going to sag anywhere, then it's going to be one of these areas where there is more of a gap or a crevice in it. So just pay special attention to those areas. Whenever you get it all on, this should be what it will look like. Make sure it's all on there smooth everywhere. This way you cut out the hole where the overhead console goes, and these little holes here where your visor mounts. And then what I did was flip it over and just wrap around the edge about 1 inch all around with more adhesive, and just make sure it wraps around really good and tight. And then that's it. I'm going to let it dry overnight and then possibly put it back in tomorrow. So we'll see what it looks like then. I've let the headliner set overnight, so it is dry. It should be good to install. I checked all of the areas where there's the extra creases for the sun visors to come down and spots that have an edge on them like that, and everything is sticking really good. So it's ready to go back in now as soon as the overhead console piece comes in. I actually ordered a black one from Nissan. I'm guessing that the black edition came with the black console overhead, so I ordered one of those. Not the cheapest piece, but I wanted to make sure I did it right on this one. I'm not sure if this is going to happen to everyone, but whenever I was pulling the headliner down, some of these Velcro pieces came off from the inside of the roof. They're actually stuck to the metal of the roof. So what I'm going to do, since they're not even sticky anymore, is I'm going to put some 3M tape on the back of them and stick them back up in there. Before you put it completely back in the car, it's probably a better idea to go ahead and put the overhead console back in and just push all of these little snap spots down back into there before you put it back in the car, because once you get it in the car completely, it's going to be impossible to get your hands above there and do this when you need to. Don't forget to put this piece back in, because that is one of your Velcro mounting points for on the ceiling. Definitely needs to go in before you put it back in the car. Getting this thing back in is just a little bit more tricky, because you want to make sure to not mess up your new Suede headliner. But you do have to bend it slowly and manipulate it in the right way to get it back in here. For the install, once you get the headliner back in the car, everything just goes back together just about the exact same way it came out. Just make sure you find all the holes where the pins snap into place. Make sure all the Velcro are in place, and just push it back up on there. So this is what it looks like when you're done. The Suede headliner Looks really good. Got the OEM black edition overhead console and the sun visors, and everything went back in exactly like it's supposed to. This is what it looks like. Now you've got your headliner back in, everything's all put back together. That's all there is to do. Thanks for watching, guys. If you got any questions, please comment below. Hit that subscribe button if you can, and I'll definitely appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get some more videos up pretty soon. Thanks again for watching, guys. Stay tuned to next time.